Okay, so now I'm going to talk about a piece that I wrote. I had two pieces that I wrote last week, and that was kind of looking at the go-to shots for both Chris Paul and Harrison Barnes. So what I did here was I looked at both players' shot charts, and I just wanted to see first of all like the frequency. Where did most of their shots come from last season, and then how efficient were they in those shots? And so I think that's a preview of what their go-to shots could look like with San Antonio. So let's first begin with the arc three for Chris Paul. So that was his most go-to shot last season. 36% of his attempts came from the arc three. So, and he shot well. He shot 41% accuracy. So again, he's not a high volume 3-point shooter, but if that shot is there for him, he's going to take it, especially if he's open. And especially if he can get his 1-2, what I mean by that is his gather, where he stops with the left or the right foot, and then puts the other one there, and then takes the shot if he gets good form on his shot. One thing that I noted when I was looking at some of the tape and also his shot chart was that he does prefer to either shoot on the wings, so either the left wing or the right wing. That's mainly where he's going to take his threes from. So that's something to monitor. And then he's also a player who does shoot the pull-up three. If he doesn't, he's not just always looking for spot-up action. Actually, he's pretty comfortable taking this. He doesn't do it a lot, but he's comfortable shooting the pull-up three. 46% of his 3-point attempts were actually off pull-up three actions. So again, that's a shot he will take if it's there for him. But again, shooting the three is not his go-to shot overall. It's just the most frequent one that he had with the Warriors. So again, he's always going to go to the next shot that I'm actually going to talk about here in my next segments. The next shot that he goes to is more so his bread and butter shot that he's had throughout his career, and that's the mid-range jumper. So that area, after 15 feet after the free throw line within the 3-point arc. 34% of his shots came from there last season, and he shot 45%, which was efficient for that type of shot. One thing that I noticed again when looking at his shot chart of where he likes to shoot from is that he does prefer to get on the right side, especially that right elbow area right after the free throw line. So that's going to kind of be the area where he's looking for to try to, whether someone sets a screen for him and he kind of runs that way and tries to get open, or if he knows that he's going to take that shot, he's going to purposely drive hard and try to lose his defender or get some separation and then take that shot, whether that's just running hard and getting a quick stop or getting a pump fake to get himself open. That's one thing I noticed, that he's going to want to shoot from the right side. And then he has more so a tendency to shoot on that right side if the big switches on a pick and roll. So let's say that the Spurs run a pick and roll or a dribble handoff and the big switches and guards Paul, then he knows that he has that speed advantage. So he knows he can get some separation, and more than likely he's going to take the shot if he feels like there's a decent look at it in those situations with the mid-range jumper. So again, that's another element that he's going to add to the Spurs' offense. Especially with Wemby pick and rolls, pick and pops, the defense is going to be so focused on Victor that Paul should have that mid-range shot there for him when the defense either switches or if they switch with the big man. And then lastly, the last shot that Paul's most frequent shot was called I'm calling this, it's really technically called a non-restricted area shot, which it's usually a bad shot. It's like that floater range kind of shot within the paint. It's right outside the paint, right outside the restricted area. But for him, I'm calling it the paint to jumper. And here's why I'm changing the name for Chris Paul, because it's actually, for him, he turns it into a good shot. So 18% of his shots came from that area, and he shot very well. I want to say it was like 9% over the league average, or it was some number like that. It was a really good number, 6%, something like that. Anyway, so why is such a bad shot pretty good for Chris Paul? Here's the reason why. When we look at where he takes it from, he takes it basically right inside the free throw line, which is still about 13, 14 feet. And so from that range, you don't want to be shooting 1 foot floaters. You want to be still shooting your jump shot form. So when you're 13 or 14 feet away, you can still take it as a normal jump shot. And that's basically what Paul does, is he takes it as his normal jump shot. And so it's just basically like a closer 15 footer for him. And so he is obviously efficient at that if he shot 53%. And then some of the same elements come into play, where if he gets the big switched on him off a pick and roll or dribble handoff, he's most likely going to take that shot if he can create some space. Whereas if it's like a wing defender or guard, he may not. He might look to pass out. So again, that was kind of my piece on writing about Chris Paul's 3 go-to shots. And again, I think that with the Spurs' offense, especially with the attention Victor's going to attract on pick and rolls, pick and pop actions, dribble handoffs, I think that some of those shots should still be there for Chris Paul. And also having some shooters out on the floor like Harrison Barnes on one corner, having Devin Vassell out there as well. So again, I think that regarding Paul's 3 go-to shots, I think those should be there in the Spurs' offense this coming season.